Hello and welcome or welcome back. If we have not met, my name is Kate and this is my place. In my place, I do a little bit of planning, cash budgeting, cash stuffing, savings challenges, paying off debt, and so much more as we are building our best life. In today's video, we are going to be closing out the third week of September and seeing how we did. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, make yourself comfortable, and let's get right into the video. All right, y'all, let's hop right into getting this third week of September closed out. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. We are going to start off with our cash wallet and what we spent out of our cash wallet. So we're all the way down here. So we did roll over $25 in our cash wallet, and that $25 was for copay. And then we pulled $665 out of the bank to go into our living expenses and our sinking funds. Our sinking funds ended up being $475. I spent $175 in groceries at Walmart. I had to move money into the cash wallet from Rodney's sinking fund for some of his waste bags that we need to use to pick up his poo. I had to pick up some cold medication and a prescription at Costco, and that was $30. So I pulled $30 out of the medical savings envelope. And then I had my therapy appointment and made that copay payment of $25. And then I had to pick up more prescriptions. So I pulled $30 out of the medical sinking funds envelope because I was unsure of how much the prescriptions were going to be. So when I went to Walgreens to pick up the scripts, they only ended up being $11. So that, that helped out a little bit this last week. And then I put the additional $19 that were left over, I put those back into the medical sinking fund envelope. And then I have $21 in my wallet that is going to be going back to the bank. So once I subtracted that money out, that left me with $5. And so $5 is supposed to be going into our $1 and $5 savings challenge, which would then put us at a zero budget to start week 4 off with. So let's get our cash wallet out and see if that's accurate. All right, so first, always, I do have some receipts. I will set these to the side, and I do scan those into Receipt Hog and Fetch Rewards. And then here are my envelopes that I used this past week, and let's see if we have some change, which we do. So that empties out our envelope for the week. So what I'm gonna do is I do a penny challenge, and so what I'll do is when I do my cash stuffing, I will count out how much change we have here and mark that off on our penny challenge tracker. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and just put the change in the little container we have here for change, and then let's see what we have left in our envelope. So miscellaneous, as you can see, there is $5 left over. So this is going to go into our tray over here to go into our $1 and $5 savings challenges that we've been saving up in for the past few months. And then groceries, I spent the full $175. Health, we spent the money on the prescriptions for that, and then the copay got spent. So that leaves us with no money left in our cash envelope. The health envelope is going to get set to the side because I only keep it in my envelope when I know that I'm going to be using it for money. And these envelopes will go back into the cash wallet so that my cash wallet is now ready to be stuffed when we do the 4th week for our cash stuffing. So that's always exciting when I don't have money floating around or not floating around somewhere. So that is it for week 3 cash expenses. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too exciting. So let's see how we did in the bank account. So if you got a chance to watch my my Wealthy Wednesday Savings Challenge video, I did say in there that it was an okay week. It was an interesting week, that I'd get into it more in this video. So that's what we're going to do. If you've not had the opportunity to watch my Wealthy Wednesday Savings Challenge video, go ahead and check it out. I will link it up in one of the corners. I don't know which corner it pops up in. So check it out when you get the opportunity if you enjoy Savings Challenge videos. And so in the bank, we started out with a rollover of $99.06. And then our salary came in as expected at the $1833.46. 20 cents got moved for change to savings. Now, some of these expenses are from when my boyfriend was out of town, because he was out of town for work. So there was a little bit of eating out on these this week for, tracking wise. So 2012 was for dinner one night. I ordered some planner stuff from Erin Condren, so that came out of my spending money for $33.87. My boyfriend got a morning coffee for $4.24. I was shocked at that price for a minute, but then I remember how much I spend when I get Starbucks. But when I get Starbucks, it's a way different order than what he gets. He just gets normal coffee and adds creamer in it. So, but then he told me, he goes, no, that's for 2 coffees because they give me a free refill. So I guess that's not horrible for regular coffee. So that went into the eating out category. We had a 4-pay payment of $15.90. We had another 4-pay payment for $27.52, $11.89, $17.49, and then we had another change to savings for $3.43. My I Am subscription came out. That is for a year, $23.30. And if you're not familiar with what I Am is, it is an app that sends affirmations throughout the day to me, and I'm able to save the ones that I like, and it gives you a little bit of a boost throughout the day, and I love it. So for $20 a year, if it makes me happy and contributes to my self-care. So we had to make a car payment. The TLX payment was due for $4.29. We had another 4-pay of $9.53, one for $16.23, and one for $17.91. So I can say, without a doubt, these 2 PayPals were not on my calendar, but yet they came out of our account. So we had 2 purchases sneak in somewhere. I'm not sure where, but we had to pay them. So it did increase our 4-pay payments for the week, but not by too much. So we'll get into that when we get to the actual closeout on the budget worksheet. So my boyfriend needed a snack in the evening when he was on his last night, and the vending machines there took debit credit cards, so he got himself snacks out of the vending machine for $10.50. Rodney's bags that were needed came in, so that was $10.48. Sunoco gas station for $42.40. I pulled out our living expenses and our sinking funds money. $100 of the $765 went towards savings challenges, and then the $665 went into the sinking funds cash stuffing and my envelopes for the week. We had a miscellaneous expense at Speedway for $8.27, another change to savings for $4.88. My boyfriend's spending money went into his spending account at $40. We had a credit card payment of $41. My boyfriend got a morning coffee for $4.01 when he was at the airport. We had another credit card payment for $35. I bought something off the TikTok shop, and this came out of my spending money for $15.44. Costco gas for $30.15. Credit card payment for $26.05. Another credit card payment for $35. And then we had one for $56 and $37.19, and another one for $30. Our Xfinity bill came out for $70.02. And then we had our Arlo subscription, which is for our security cameras, at $7.99. And one of our car wash subscriptions came out at $29.99. So I found out as I was doing my tracking that my boyfriend negotiated with the car wash and got his car wash payment down to $29.99. How he did that for his and decided not to do it for mine, I have no clue, but I guess we'll find out when I track for when it comes out. And so to continue on with how we're doing in the bank, so our dash income came in at $160.85. Our water softener payment was $41.34. We had another eating out for $10.36. And then while I was at Walmart, we needed some household supplies, so I went ahead and picked those up for $18. And then I also purchased a few items that I wanted / needed for doing my budget stuff and my YouTube stuff. So I took that out of my spending at $12.09, and the total for that was $30.09. I topped off my tank at Sunoco for $16.35. There was a Fanatics purchase, which went into the spending category for $26.42. I had a parking fee for $18.35. And then we had a change to savings for $4.39. And this is where it gets interesting. So Monday, I got this odd notification that a certain amount of money had been taken out of my account. And at first I was like, oh, no big deal, something posted. But then I started looking at the amounts and I was like, well, wait a minute, I don't recall making a payment for that. So what happened is we had an unexpected debt come out of the account, and it pretty much wiped out our savings and what was in our checking at the time. So we have it set up to where if our primary account goes into the negative, whatever, if there's money in the savings account, it will push it over and offset that. So essentially what happened is I had to pull $250 out of our emergency fund, because when it had been taken out of the account, there were still bills that had not come out of our checking account yet that we had paid for the third week. So I pulled $250 out of our emergency fund to deposit into the bank, and that's what that is. And then we had the unexpected from emergency fund for $212.24, and then I also reimbursed the savings account, the $23.23, that had to get moved from savings into checking to cover. So that was a totally unexpected, unbudgeted thing, that happened, and it made the beginning of the week very stressful, but I am so relieved that I was able to say, you know what, no big deal. We're just going to go ahead. That's what our emergency fund is for instances where we have unexpected things come up that are, more of an urgent nature. And I was able to pull that money to make sure that the other bills that hadn't come out yet were able to come out and get paid. It turned out okay. Everything worked out. And I'm just so grateful that I had the money set aside in the emergency fund envelope to be able to pull that out and put it back in the bank. And then we had After that, another change to savings for $1.43, and then another one for $2.29. And then my son was thirsty on the way to therapy, so we picked up something for him to drink at McDonald's for $1.69. And then we also had another change to savings. Come on, I think it was 65 cents that went into the savings. So that is how we did in regards to the bank account and the spending. And we are going to be rolling money over into the fourth week, which is exciting. I always love to make sure that we can pad our fourth week. So now that we've went ahead, we checked in with the bank, we know we're good there, I am going to go ahead and we are going to do our week 3 closeout. So for the closeout, essentially what I am going to do is we're going to input all the information from the check-in into the closeout to see how close we are going to be able to come to our zero-based budget. So let's get this party started. So first off, in our income category, our salary was the $1,833.46. Dash, we did bring in at least $150. It was $160.85. All right. I feel like I am getting so many more interruptions than I normally do these past few videos that I've recorded. It's been crazy. So, back to what we were doing for our income. Our rollover and other income for the third week was the $124.06. And then the income from savings that we brought in was $302, which brings our total income for the week to $2,420.37. All right, so next category for our expenses, the TLX payment came in at the $429. Our Beauchamps payment was the $41.34. Our Xfinity bill was $70.02. And then Arlo was $7.99. White's Car Wash came in at $29.99. And then the I Am subscription was $23.30. So our total for our expenses is $601.64. And now we are going to subtract, make sure y'all can see that, the $24.20 and 37 cents. We're gonna then minus our household expenses, which was the $601.64, and that gives us $18.73 to move on with. Our credit card payments for the week were, I budgeted for $276 and we ended up paying out $260.24. And our 4Pays for this week came in at $116.47. So our total debt for the week of September 13th through the 19th was $376.71. So now we're going to go ahead and subtract the $376.71 from the $1,873, which gives us $1,442 and 2 cents. Our gas for this week came in at $88.90. Groceries, we spent $75, which is amazing because we came in under budget. I love it. Spending this week was over budget, was $127.82. Our miscellaneous was $26.62. And then eating out came in at $50.92. So that brings our total to $469.26. Sorry for all the background noise. So we are going to go ahead and subtract the $469.26 from our leftover, which gives us $972.76 to work with. Okay, so our copay this week did come out at $25. Rodney's purchase was $11. I do round up because the change from his purchase ended up going into our savings account because we round up our change. Our total for our unbudgeted or unexpected payment that came out was $235.47. Oh, excuse me, guys. And then we also had medical at $41 and household spending, which was $18. So that brings our total for our sinking fund spendings to $330.47. So we're going to subtract the $330.47 from our leftover, and that leaves us $642.29. All right, so for our savings, I do not know where this runny nose came from. Oh my goodness. Okay, for our sinking fund saving, we did put in the $475. For our mini Mondays, I budgeted $20 and we put in $20. And then for our Wealthy Wednesday, I budgeted $80, but I ended up putting $65 in. And that is because I started doing a new challenge and I wanted to be able to, so it's called the Ding 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 Challenge. It's by, I believe it was made by, I will put her name on the screen because I don't remember the name. And essentially what it is every time you complete a savings challenge, you put $1 in the envelope. It's called the Ding 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 Challenge. And so I put aside $15 for that particular challenge so that whenever I finished a challenge, I already had the $1, the dollar bills set aside to be able to put the $1 in. So every week I'll contribute a few $1. I'll kind of budget that into the savings challenge money that I'm putting aside so that I can continue to fund that particular challenge. So $15 went into the ding 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 pot so that I would be able to do that, and that'll be counted down here in other. So our rollover, like I said, we are going to be rolling over 25-19 into week 4. And then for other, we ended up saving an additional 58.27, which brings our total to 643.46. Okay, so now that we have all of our categories filled out, what I like to do is I do my budget a little bit differently. I put the totals for all of my expense categories into the summaries box down here, and then I add it up and compare the total of my summaries box to the total income. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to enter in the information, I'm going to get it calculated, and then we'll come back and compare what our total summary for the week is compared to the income that we brought in. So all right, so our total for the 3rd week of September that we spent or saved was $2,421.54. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract the income that we brought in, and we are off by $1.17. So if you know me, you know me. I know for a fact that I am not in the negative $1.17. I track my bank account meticulously and I match it up with what my spending is. So this is definitely something in the numbers, or I could totally have $1.17 in here that I am not aware of. So it's highly possible that's the change that we're going to be saving. We'll find out when we do the cash stuffing for week 4. So that is it for my week 3. It is officially closed out. We made it through the week, even when it got a little bit bumpy. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, you are a rock star. And if you could please put a star emoji down in the comments to let me know that you hung out with me throughout the video today, I would greatly appreciate it. If you liked today's video, please make sure that you give me a thumbs up. And if you want to continue following me on my journey and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that whenever I post, you will be notified. And I hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.